Hello, SC fans across the globe. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. Trust you're getting on well. Yes, today we have resumed the in-depth analysis here in Core Web TV. Core Web TV is where you can hear the unbiased reportage of events. Of course, keeping it real has been a commitment and passion. And to this end, we come your way with more exciting, of course, and intriguing revelations today that has to do with history. We will bring you down to the memory lane and into the current reality and state of events as they are unfolding. Yes, today we are going to focus on the statement made by the eternal leader of the Biafran Republic, the first president of Biafra, Dim Chukwuemeka Odimegwu Ojukwu. His statement, of course, during the 1967 to 70 supposed genocidal war between Nigeria and the Biafran Republic. These are one of the extracts of his statement, as it was published in my Mazi Simon Ekpa's Twitter handle. We are here to give in-depth analysis to these revelations and the understanding of the times and seasons we're in. And of course, in respect in relation to the statement or declaration that was made by this internal leader of the Biafran heritage. Here is what is said. Ojukwu told Gowan, this statement was made on the 15th of April 1968. Ojukwu told Gowan, as you Fulanis are killing my people unprovoked, you will be alive to witness your people die like dogs. Unprovoked, UK will fall. Someone greater than me will liberate Biafra. I promise you. This is the statement of Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu. Several decades thereafter, you begin to see, of course, the manifestation of this declaration, opposition being maintained by the grand patron and leader of the Biafran Republic and the first president of the Biafran state. Of course, he was the president of Biafra for barely 3 years during the civil war, of course, that broke out. And this statement, we are going to look in depthly and objectively, how is this statement coming to pass? Sometimes people who don't understand the times and seasons might not, of course, align themselves with the happenings. Yes, we might say how old is Simon Ekpa, of course, the Prime Minister of Biafra in exile, and Mazem Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, when these statements were made. They were so young. I mean, Mazin Kanu was still a toddler, or possibly Simon Ekpa may not have been born as of then. But look at the declaration that was made by a man who was so pained, who was so embittered by the level of subjugation, by the level of murder, killings, of course, of his own people. He cried out in pain. He made declarations in anger, in agony, in a broken heart. Of course, he expressed this in-depth reflection of his position or his life or how he felt he was wounded by the unprovoked killings of his people across the length and breadth of this country. And he said, go on, as you are killing my people today, you will be alive to watch your own people being killed like dogs. Is that happening today? Sometimes we may not, of course, make reference to history. We tend to be too quick to forget when things are happening because they are being controlled by unseen forces. They are being controlled by the blood of innocent people who we are crying for justice, who are crying for recompense, who are crying, of course, for vindication. And possibly this is exactly what is happening. The Gawam, the former military head of state of Nigeria, is alive today. His people is being massacred in Plateau, George, and we have not seen an end to this. When they are about to recover from these heinous, brutal killings, unjustifiable killings, you see the more killings are coming through. And the supposed Fulanis who aligned with Gowon and of course the rest of the regions to fight against Biafra Republic of government between 1967 to 1970 are today turning against themselves. Fulani killing their own uh, Plateau people, the Gowans own people, taking over their ancestral lands and homes, rendering so many lifeless and useless. It is quite unfortunate. This, of course, brings us back to the statement of Ojukwu that as you are watching my people being killed, as you are delighted, excited about the killings of my people and children and mothers who unfortunately are victim of this conspiracy, of course, by the British and of course other regions. I've overheard the Niger Republic, of course, saying that they played a vital role in the Biafra war. They supported Nigeria in killing of Biafran's people. Yes, they made this revelation by the Niger government, and unfortunately today is there peace within the region. And you can cite quite clearly what Ojukwu said out of pain, out of embittered heart, out of a broken heart, is coming through today. And unfortunately, uh, perhaps Gowon may not have realized, of course, what is exactly happening. You might wish that away. You might just wish that by a wave of hands. But is it the reality playing out? Another thing that was said by the Dim Chukwemeka Odumego Chukwu is that someone greater than him will one day liberate Biafra. Someone greater than him in strategy, in vision, in approach, of course, in wisdom and technical know how, will liberate Biafrans. He made this statement without knowing who the person is. He made this statement in pain, seeing ahead of what is to come. You can say at this time, and I do agree with this position, that Dim Chukwemeka Odumegwejuku of blessed memory, though he's still alive, of course, in the heart of every Biafran, is a great prophet of our time. He made this statement when perhaps nobody knows who Prime Minister Simon Eba and Mazin Nandekano, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, were or what, of course, they are destined to accomplish. They are coming with a vision, of course, and a different approach, but one goal. One goal. What is that goal? The fulfillment of the declaration of Tim Chukwemeka's utterances, which is alive and very much alive, hovering, seeking for expression and fulfillment. And that fulfillment, of course, is very clear today that Biafrans are now conducting self-referendum. These are expectations, of course, and which Dim Chukwemeka was not able to see in his lifetime. But he very much believed in the Biafran restoration, that he has to pour out his spirit, of course, by these expressions, that one day someone greater than I will liberate Biafra. By that submission, he's saying the Biafran spirit cannot die. Though I step aside, another one steps in, someone greater than me, someone greater in calling, someone greater in commitment, someone greater, of course, in every respect, in all front, is coming to step into my shoe, and he will lead out, you lead the Biafrans out of the supposed Egypt, out of Nigerian, of course, territorial space, to have and declare a government and an institution, of course, that will be most inviolable or envied by other African states and regions. And that is what he said, that is possibly, and of course, culminating into the activities of what we are seeing. It's better you have an understanding of the times and seasons so that you will know what your actions and inactions are. Whether you are walking in line with the prophecy, fulfilling of the prophecy, or you are standing on the way of that prophecy. It is one thing involved. If you're standing against the prophecy that has been declared, which you don't even know the power behind, of course, those declarations, you might have yourself to blame. What am I saying? These are proverbial. Of course, you must know where you are standing and have the clear understandings of the times and seasons we are in today. What is playing out is not just ordinary. It's not just, a coincidence, but it is reality, the reflection of what has been predetermined, preordained, and of course, stated uh, decades ago. And this is calling for expression. And today, what we are seeing, the way and the vibe, of course, of which Biafran discourse is being heard across the globe, international domains, presupposes there is something behind, of course, the propagation of the Biafrans and the Biafrans people entirely. The love and passion for their own state continue to build up, continue to increase to the extent that no power within the space under the force of gravity or beyond the forces of gravity that could hamper the expression and manifestation of this. I'm just explaining and giving in-depth analysis so that you can understand that what is happening is not just a mere coincidence, is not just just a frivolous attempt to distract the people or because of people who are not engaged. These are realities. You see responsible men and women championing the cause of Biafrans across the globe, men of great repute, men and timbers and calibers are the ones championing the cause, not no longer the supposed riffraff, although they call the riffraff. These are men of greatness, men of great accomplishment, championing the cause of Biafra restoration because they have traveled wide and discovered that there is no better place like home. And they are willing and ready to build the supposed home they most desired. Haven't traveled wide, gained and supported other regions in development. They want to build their own home. And possibly these are reasons why, of course, this is becoming more realistic, of course, by what we are seeing today. It is no longer news. Today being the 9th day of February, of course, this is the 9th day of the self-referendum, of course, initiation. And how far this can go is a matter of time. But the reality is that it is in correspondence with the declaration of the grand leader of the Biafran, of course, state, or the Biafran state, which is Jim Chukwemeka Ojukwu, having felt so bad over the brutality and injustice meted on his people, which of course was the reason that in the first instance why he declared self-defense for his own people, that he cannot continue to live within a state where they are being treated as infidels or commoners or third class citizens. They decided, of course, with other Biafran council to set up the Biafran government by way of protecting their own people and cultural heritage. But unfortunately, of course, it wasn't a successful one. But he said, nonetheless, that there is someone greater than I, who possibly I don't know, that definitely will champion the cause of Biafra. Today, it is happening in our lifetime. It is happening today in our own generation. You can't deny the reality. You can't even stop what has been preordained. Well, if you think you can, well, you can try your best. I'm just here to make my own analysis and to bring the realities in a real time today. Of course, what has been said, and some people are not, of course, aligning with the realities on ground. This has been said. Who is that one greater than I? Some people thought, of course, that at the exit of death of Dim Chukwemeka Ojukwu, that the Biafran issue is dead and buried. Just like the former, of course, Anambra State governor who contested, of course, for the presidency of Nigeria in 2023, Peter Obi said during the burial of Ojukwu that Biafra is dead. that Biafra, the war has ended. He said it, and I was watching what he meant by that. I was so disturbed and displeased by that statement because I knew very much what my father told me about Biafra. How, of course, he fought for the independence and liberation of his people when the occasion demands. So, with this, with the wounds still fresh on heat, of course, and the pains and agonies of Biafrans still remain the same. As I was so embittered by that statement coming from Peter B. That's why sometimes I don't regard this person. Yes, it's my senior, it's my uncle, but that very statement, of course, made me begin to have some reservations about his person and what he really stands for. Just as he will rightly said, go and verify. Peter B should go and verify what I'm saying. Was this statement made by Ojukwu that the day is coming when the one's own people shall be killed like dogs? Go and verify what that statement meant. Is it happening even in the absence of Ojukwu? The reality is yes, which means there are much, of course, to this you don't know, and you need to be tutored, of course, by making reference to what has transpired. And this is also playing out today. That is why Nigeria is resting. There is insecurity rocking the entire, of course, Middle West, the entire uh, North Central, or whatever you call them, who also fought against Biafra in conspiracy with the Fulanis, and I mean other regions and the foreign nationals or foreign powers to suppress and sub. Today, have they really won the war? This is a question to ask Mr. Gowan today with due respect. Have you really won the war? You fought against Biafrans, but have you really won the war? These are issues, of course, of importance. You must confront yourself with these realities. Of course, in your lifetime, your own people are being killed, which is the fulfillment of the declaration, of course, made by Chukwu Emeka or the Megu Ojukwu. It is happening today. While the one is still alive, his own people are killed, and he could do nothing about that. I want to hear your own position regarding this analysis and the in-depth revelations of the read of our time on what is transpiring. What is playing out is not just ordinary. It has some spiritual connotations. It is only those who designs. It is only those who have insight. It is only those who have understandings of the times and season will align with what is happening by relating, of course, the happenings with what transpired in the past. You may have forgotten, but of course, history, of course, and time do not forget. It will only come up, of course, in the due course. And unfortunately, we are caught up with these realities today. Let me leave you with this provoking thoughts. Let's know what your thoughts are and what, of course, your perception regarding this development is. And of course, via the comment section, let's discuss. Do you agree with this position? Of course, I overwhelmingly agree without any ambiguity. This is the true position of events. Today, the question is goes to go on. Do you really win the war? If you do claim you won the war, what is happening to your own people today? You won the war and you lost the peace. Have you learned anything from the past? What are your positions and intentions in your lifetime to correct the errors of the past? You may not have access to the past, but you have the present to right the wrongs. And of course, be able to save your own people. It is happening, and nobody can live in denial today. That as you kill my own people, your own people will be killed like dogs. You will watch your own people. You will be alive to watch your own people killed like dogs. These are happenings. I was shocked by this revelation. I was moved by this revelation. I begin to see the gravity of those statements, even beyond the man who said it. And today is a reality. As people thought that the extraordinary rendition of Mazin Nadikano will bring an end to the Biafran struggle, they never knew it is a beginning of another era, a new dimension in approach, in strategy, and of course, in higher wisdom. But let me leave you until I come your way in subsequent edition. Remember, let's don't forget to hit the like button, share this. Of course, let people get to know what is happening. And the understanding of the times and season will give you, of course, and place you in a better position to know, of course, where you stand in the moments and times like this. Remember, bless and have a very fantastic day ahead with your families and loved ones. Stay safe and remain blessed.